If you are constantly exhausted, feeling like you have to be in this go, go, go energy, forcing productivity, feeling guilty or anxious if you take a break or rest, you might be stuck in your masculine energy, which will lead to, if you're not already in full burnout, you are on a one-way ticket to burnout. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like to be stuck in your masculine energy, how you can make an easy switch so you can be more in your feminine energy, which is going to allow more regulation, more rest, and more pleasure into your life while still being as effective and efficient with way less energy, way less hustle, way less grind. And I am telling you, it all gets to be super easy when you make these small little changes. If that's something you want to learn more, stay tuned till the end of the video to hear all of the easy tips that you can include starting right away to be more in your feminine energy, to receive versus stuck in the hustle grind of your masculine energy. I have been there before. I was like, there's no such thing as like masculine and feminine energy. There's just get it done or don't get it done. And I would stay up all night long getting work done, whether this was for a launch or rewriting my sales page. And I was on this like hustle, grind. I was like, if I'm not working, then I'm not doing, and I had all of these stories that I made up in my head on how I needed to be stuck in my masculine. And I kept saying, oh, well, I show up in my feminine when I'm in my hobbies or when I'm in this. And in reality, looking back, I was 100% in my masculine energy. And I'll never forget, I went to this energy healer and she was like doing this chakra realignment. And she was like, oh, you are stuck in your masculine. And I was like, well, duh, hello. How else am I going to get stuff done? Like, tell me something I don't know. And she was like, no, like, this isn't a good thing. And I was like, ma'am, please explain. And so she was talking about how on our right side is our masculine energy and our left side is our feminine energy. And it was really fascinating because on my right side, that is where I had all of my pain. I was having shoulder pain. My right ovary was having a lot of pain. My right hip, it was all on my right side. And she was basically like, your body needs to have more balance. You are so stuck in this grind of go, 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 do, that you're not actually allowing yourself to receive and allow it to be easy, allow it to be pleasurable, all of these things. So over the last year, I've been on this feminine energy journey, and that can feel really counterintuitive and counterproductive, being a high achiever and being in your feminine. Because I know ambitious women tend to be stuck in their masculine because they're competing with other masculine individuals, right? Whether it's climbing the corporate ladder, the entrepreneurship ladder, you're constantly climbing it, which means you are competing with other masculine energies. And you feel like in order to have a say, have a voice, you have to also be stuck in that masculine energy. And a lot of times our managers or society will praise us. Oh my gosh, way to get that work done, way to stay up late, way to come in early. And you start to see this overworking energy and identity starts to get rewarded, starts to get praised. And then we start to believe if I scale back or even do less, I'm not going to get the praise. I'm not going to get the accolades. I'm not going to get the recognition, which then will prevent a promotion, which will prevent sales from coming in. We start to create all these stories because we're told to be in your feminine is to be lazy, to be in your feminine is just to sit around and picking wildflowers, when in reality, that is so far from the truth. But again, it's just a stereotype that is trying to pull you from your feminine power. Because you as a feminine being have so much more power of creation when you become that human being and less of that human doing hustle and grind. So let's dive into some of those signs and signals that you are stuck in your masculine energy. So the first sign that your burnout is kind of being led by your masculine energy is you feel guilty when you're not being productive. You feel guilty when you start to rest. Let's say, for example, you got your work done early and now you're like, oh, I have some extra time on my schedule. Ooh, what do you do with it? Do you go do something you enjoy, a hobby, a walk, something enjoyable, pausing, being in silence, enjoying nature? Or do you start on the next project? Do you never give yourself a full rest and you're just constantly go, go, go? A lot of times we have this fear that if I ever take a break from this hustle grind, like internal motivation, that I'll lose it. It's kind of like this fear that if I don't use it, I'll lose it. And how do I create that inertia to keep going and keep that momentum to keep up with everybody, or to keep the standard that everybody expects me to perform at? And that is a very masculine energy of go, go, go. You have to remind yourself that you, being a feminine being, your hormone cycle is very different. Therefore, you need more rest, you need more regulation, and relaxation. You need all of that to really allow you to perform. And then when you really are in your true feminine energy and you create from that place, it's going to take you so much less time. It's going to take you less time to the exact same thing that it used to cause hustle, grind, and anxiety. So the first sign is you start to feel guilty when you're not productive, or when you have extra time on your schedule and you're not using it for work tasks. The next one is whenever you give yourself rest, you start to have an anxious mind. You're feeling like you're wasting your time. Why bother? I know the big saying, I'll rest or sleep when I'm dead. It's this kind of energy of like, I'm going to save that for like my future self to deal with. And if you don't allow rest, your body will find reasons for you to rest. You will get sick. You will get sick, or you will get sick. Your body will start to shut down. It'll say like you have no more energy left. Your reserves are on empty. And so you might start to notice signs of even depression. So you're kind of not interested in your hobbies. Things that used to make you really happy no longer make you happy because your body is like, I have no energy to move forward, right? Depressed means you need deep rest, relaxation, and regulation. Another sign that you are stuck in your masculine energy, which is contributing to your burnout, is you are constantly in planning mode. You are always 5 steps ahead. You are in the future. You are planning for things that don't even need plans for. You're worrying about things that may never even come into your reality. But you're thinking, if I don't plan, I plan to fail, which is a very masculine energy. Because let me ask you, when was there ever a time that you needed to be quick on your feet and you weren't? I can guarantee you, the high achiever, the ambitious individual, if there was ever a time that you needed to be quick on your feet, you were. And we start to tell ourselves, well, I need to plan so I can be better prepared, so I'm not blindsided. But I know you are so ambitious and quick with your thinking, quick with your actions. You don't constantly need to be in planning mode in order to be successful. To be really in your feminine energy is to take that step back and to allow creativity to show up. Allow yourself to be in that spark of like, ooh, this would be really fun to create, or this would be really fun to pitch. This would be really fun to move forward with. But instead, you're like, I need to plan every single thing, which then doesn't allow rest, relaxation, and regulation into your realm. Another sign that you are stuck in your masculine energy, which is leading to burnout, is you are stuck in go, go, go. You are constantly problem solving, and you're not only problem solving your own problems, but you're problem solving everyone else's problems. For example, I had a client who she would watch people's Instagram stories, and anytime they shared a struggle, a snafu, something that they were struggling with in their life, she would give them advice. She would message them and she would give them advice. And one time I asked her, I was like, oh, are these people asking for it? And she was like, no, I just want to be so helpful. That is stuck in your masculine energy. You believe that you will not be perceived as valuable if I'm not constantly giving. That it's not safe to receive. It's not safe for them to ask. I just have to constantly give and give. Then there was a light bulb moment. She went and she started typing up this whole plan for this person that she didn't even know on how to get unstuck. And she was about to send it to them. And then she was like, wait a minute, no one asked for me to be in this problem-solving role. And I took it upon myself, which is this very masculine energy, right? Feminine energy is allowing people to come to you and say, hey, I need help with this. It's not trying to problem solve, because when we're constantly problem solving, we're not in our body, we're not in our intuition, and we are rejecting all of the possibilities for creation. Another sign that you are stuck in your masculine energy is you're really rejecting this energy of softness, joy, or listening to your body's needs. You might wake up on a Saturday and you might have an entire to-do list of things to do, but your body is saying, I need a day of Netflix and chill, and not what the Gen Z Netflix and chill, but actually Netflix and chill, where you just rest all day. Maybe you order takeout. I know me personally, once a month, I need a day where I order takeout and I'm watching TV shows all day. I'm not getting dressed. I'm not communicating with anyone. I am just allowing my body to rest, enjoying a beautiful show, a beautiful movie without any fear that someone's going to say, I'm not being productive. It's not a good use of my time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe her, right? We get to practice that self-awareness. When I take a day for rest, what are those thoughts? Is it, I'm lazy, I'm worthless, I'm unproductive? Or is it, ooh, I'm giving my body a break. Ooh, I'm giving myself rest so I can regulate, so I can go forward from a place of intuition versus a place of hustle and burnout. Okay, the last sign, I know this is a lot, so you might be like, oh my gosh, Alyssa, I'm resonating with all of this. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you how we can get out of it, break that cycle, and dive into your feminine so you can still get things done, but no longer be in this state of hypervigilance or burnout. So the last sign that your masculine energy is leading you to burnout is you're constantly thinking about how you can do more instead of feel more. When we are intuition-led, when we use our inner compass, and if you haven't checked out my Inner Compass podcast, check out the show notes below. I do weekly videos all about how to reconnect with your inner compass, so definitely check that out. When we think about all the things we need to do, we are in our masculine energy. And when we get to feel, like, how am I feeling today? Ask yourself in this moment, how am I feeling? Am I feeling inspired? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling discouraged? Am I feeling burnt out? When we're tuning into our feelings, we're allowing our feminine energy to allow us to get information on what's happening internally instead of ignoring what our body is trying to tell us. Again, our body gives us signals and cues through emotions and physical sensations. And if our body's been trying to communicate with us and we've just been doing, we're not actually feeling. So those are all the different signs that you are stuck in your masculine energy that's leading to burnout. Let me know in the comment section below which one really resonated with you. And now let's really switch this energy of how can we step into that feminine, be more feminine energy led, so that way you're not needing to recover from the burnout. You can just live. And a gentle reminder, you're not broken if you related or even resonated with all of those symptoms I just shared. You've been conditioned and even praised to be stuck in your masculine energy. And now we get to do this really beautiful learning, unlearning, relearning process of tapping into your feminine energy. So now let's reclaim our feminine energy. And a question I get asked all the time is, how do I reclaim, stay in my feminine energy while getting things done? It's like this duality. How do I get everything done while being in my feminine, right? Because it's super easy to just jump right over to our masculine. It's like, to-do lists, planning, go, KPIs, data, spreadsheets versus our feminine. So I'm going to teach you some different techniques that we can really incorporate to allow you to step in, soften. Rest, relaxation, and regulation is the goal here. So what you're going to do as soon as you wake up in the morning, you're going to do what's called a body scan. You're just going to scan your body and you're just going to say, how is my body feeling today? What does my body need before I jump in to my work? When we start our day with more feminine-led exercises, it's easier for us to come back to our body versus waking up and mapping out and doing a to-do list. At first, it kind of feels very similar, right? So you're laying in bed and you're like, all right, body, how are we feeling? What do you need today? At first, it's going to feel a little bit different when you're laying in bed and you're asking your body, okay, what do we need? How are you feeling? What sounds fun and exciting to do before I jump into my work or my tasks? And then you can really incorporate your morning routine to be more feminine-led, which is incorporating your body. If you're starting to notice that you're getting a little bit of anxiety of like, oh no, I have to answer that email. I have to get this thing done. I have to finish this. Come back to your body. Ask yourself, where am I feeling this anxiety? And what is this anxiety trying to tell me? Oh, it's saying, I'm afraid this feminine energy is going to make me slow. Oh, I'm afraid this feminine energy isn't going to make me as productive. Oh, okay, great. Breathe into that. Let that integrate, let that shift so you can really give yourself space to create a new relationship with your feminine energy. So here are some things that we can do that are more body-led before you get work done. Going for a walk. Movement is key for your feminine energy. Doing some tapping, doing some light EFT tapping before you do anything that requires masculine energy. Another one that is huge and it's so infused in all of our cultures is dance. So making a morning playlist that you can get up, you can move your body, you can dance is really going to allow you to be in tune with your feminine energy before you go and do your masculine energy tasks. The idea is thinking about more flow. Where can you incorporate more flow before you do more of those rigid masculine things, such as like emails and to-do lists and work, all those things that you have to do to, right, make money. But how can you be more feminine led in the process? So the first one is as soon as you wake up, check in with your body. How are you feeling? And what does your body want to do in forms of movement to really allow this creative energy to flow through you? The feminine energy thrives with pleasure. So think about romanticizing your morning routine. Could you light a candle? Could you get a diffuser? Could you add some shower tabs of eucalyptus in your shower to really invoke your five senses? Could you really romanticize your coffee by getting like the most luxurious coffee cups or making iced coffee with little heart-shaped ice cubes? How could you add more pleasure in your morning before you dive into your work or even your post-work routine? How could you really romanticize your dinner? Maybe you're eating on these like beautiful plates or you're like plating it really beautiful or you're adding little garnishes to really spice up this like idea of pleasure throughout the day. Lastly, a way that you can really tap into your feminine energy as you're creating work is connecting to your intuition. Your intuition is female-led, is feminine-led. And when you are listening and you are taking intuitive guidance, intuitive nudges, you are going to create magic. And you are going to create ideas, you're going to get downloads, you're going to get intuitive guidance on what to do with your job, your career, your life in a way that won't make sense to anyone else. And when you really tap into your intuition and you allow your intuition to dictate what needs to get done, I promise you, you are going to snap out of burnout and into flow. And a lot of times we are afraid to step into that feminine energy of listening to our intuition. So here are some really easy things that you can do to start your day that's intuitive led. Okay, ask yourself, what do I want to wear today? What color do I want to wear? How do I want to do my hair? How do I want to do my makeup? What jewelry do I want to put on? Those are all things that you can allow your intuition to guide you. What do I want to eat for breakfast? What do I want to put in my coffee? Do I want tea? Do I want to make it? Do I want to buy it? What do I want to eat for lunch? Those are all easy ways that you can lean into your feminine energy that don't interrupt your work day. And when you're starting to notice that you're shifting back into that hustle grind, do some tapping. So an easy way you can do for tapping is just acknowledging how you're feeling, releasing it, and then picking something you would rather feel. So for example, you can tap and say, I'm acknowledging that I'm getting back into hustle and grind. I'm acknowledging that being stuck in my masculine leads to burnout. I'm acknowledging that when I'm in my masculine for too long, I am anxiety driven versus intuitive led. It's safe to release this masculine energy and get back into flow. And maybe after this tapping, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to do some dancing, but I'm really going to allow myself to reconnect with my body. And we can do that. And that's enough to break the pattern of us getting back into our body. And if you're like, I don't know how to tap on my own, you're in luck. I have an entire EFT tapping library that has several videos on reconnecting to your feminine energy, reconnecting to your power, being intuitive-led instead of fear-led, and all of that is in the description below, and you can join for just $22 a month and start getting into your feminine energy through the power of EFT tapping. I've been tapping every single day, and whenever I'm noticing I'm getting back into that hustle and grind, I'll do some tapping, I'll put my favorite song on, and I will dance, and I'm as easily back into my feminine energy. Here's some gentle reminders. You don't have to earn your rest. You get to rest by just being you. You don't have to hustle your way to healing. You can just allow yourself to make these easy shifts, allow the healing to be a byproduct of you being in your feminine energy, being intuitive led. And when in doubt, trust your intuition, trust the feminine side of you to really guide you on the next thing you need to do to heal this burnout. Because when you are starting to get burnt out, your body is just trying to tell you you're stuck in your masculine energy. Come back to your feminine energy, do some movement, add some pleasure, romanticize your day. Those are all easy ways that we can get back into our feminine. Rest, relaxation, and regulation are going to be your superpowers when it comes to connecting to your feminine energy. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you liked it, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I release videos out every single week and I can't wait to see you in next week's video.